Howdy ho, everybody. I am Donut, and I am here with
Thermites.
I have seen, like, season 20-something of South Park. You have seen none of it. Mm-hmm. This is season 2, episode 3, Chickenlover.
Oh, boy.
Once again, they wanted to call it Chicken Fucker, could not, so they had to name it Chickenlover. Again, I think Chickenlover is better than Chicken Fucker.
It really is.
Yeah. Let's get into it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, children, each of you gets to choose 2 books from the Booktastic books.
Hey, there's a lot of big words in these books.
Hello, kids. I see you're discovering the magic of reading.
Who are you?
I drive the Booktastic bus, where magic begins. You see, reading opens up whole new worlds to you. You can take a canoe down the Amazon, or go back in time to Camelot, or become a race car driver, all by just opening a book. Just like magic, the magic of reading.
Yeah, shut up, dude.
Go ahead and pick any books you like, then give in to the magic.
If we read, are we going to become like that guy? Yeah, this is stupid. Books aren't magical.
Oh, no.
I'm kind of getting a tingly feeling looking at these.
Well, being an officer of the peace means a lot of things. It's a hard job, but then again, I'm a hard man.
Oh, my.
Possible hostile situation.
There you see? This could be a bank robbery, or possibly even a murder.
Is this just his car?
This ain't no podunk little
I
town.
guess so.
It doesn't look like a cop car.
He's so poor, it's like, no, we know he has a cop car, though. They have a cop car. That is a cop car.
I guess.
Move along. There's nothing to see here. What's the trouble? Where's the body?
Bar Brady, I just caught some guy in here having sex with one of my chickens.
Oh.
We're gonna go grab some lunch and maybe get some shots of those turtles down at the pond.
Camel
For
poo.
Hey, what's this?
Yes.
It looks like a note.
Give me that. That's a clue, and you'll get your stinky DNA all over it.
What does it say?
It says,
no.
sorry I had sex with a chicken. I won't do it again. Bye-bye. Well, there you have it.
I
Case
can't
closed.
tell if he can
Damn it,
read
Bar
or
Brady,
if he's
what the
doing
hell's
that
wrong with
intentionally.
you? Every time something happens in this town, you say, nothing to see here and case closed. But we want justice. We have to find this sicko.
If you do not comply, I'll be forced to execute each and every one of you by gunshot to the head. That's right. Return to your simple lives. Just forget this ever happened. Forget.
Wow, Barbie sure is acting weird. Yeah, I wonder what's wrong.
What?
Welcome to France. Can I help you? Sir, can I help you?
Just give me 2 cheeseburgers and some jalapeno poppers.
Sure, there's just one problem.
What's that?
We're a bank.
I know that, smarty pants. What do you think, I'm some kind of idiot?
Yes? Has Chicken left any clues at the crime?
All right.
You can see his grandfather and his father there on the wall behind him.
Oh, that's what it's supposed to
I
be.
get it. I can't read. Are you happy now? You pushed, and now you all know my terrible secret. I'm illegitimate. I'm not fit to be a policeman. I retire.
Okay.
Okay, thank you all for coming. There's coffee and brownies out front.
Really explains how he got hired in the first place.
Yeah.
For a while, this just in. South Park has plunged into total anarchy. Exactly 2 seconds after the retirement of Officer Bar Brady, looting and pillaging erupted in the quiet mountain town. Whoopee! This is killer!
With no cops around, we can do whatever we want.
I was just about to say, this shouldn't change very much, but never mind.
Oh my god!
After
They
him
killed... Oh, never mind.
By the mayor's order, Officer Barbrady is on temporary leave of absence to learn to read. Effective immediately.
Yes, that's right. It's back to school with Officer Barbrady.
Okay.
Now, children, we have a new student joining
no,
us today.
the letters
Please
are
say
worse.
Hi to Officer Barbrady.
I can't see, dude.
I need to go poopies.
Officer Barbrady, in school we go to the bathroom before and after class.
Oh, Christ, how do you kids do it?
Now, does anyone have any suggestions?
What order is this?
I'm pretty sure it's Spanish.
Now, I'm going to write a
Oh,
sentence,
Dios
and I want us
mío.
all to help Officer Barbrady
Yes.
read it.
I saw Bastardos.
Oh.
Did you hear that, Mr. Hat? I sure did, Mr. Garrison. What a retard.
Did you kids actually learn how to read this way?
No, we just fake it to shut him up.
Okay, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Wait, what? I don't know what that means.
Say, what are nice chickens like you doing in a coop like this?
Who could this be?
For my book report, I read The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. It was very, very good. Have you read it, Mr. Garrison?
No, I can't say that I have.
Oh, good. In The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, a bunch of hippies walk around and paint stuff. They eat lunch, and then they find a magical camel, which they have to eat to stay alive. And that's pretty much it. I give it a B-.
And I give you an F, Eric. Now sit down. Okay, Officer Barbrady, why don't you give us your book report?
I've just finished reading the heartwarming novel Go Dog Go. I found it a compelling and disturbing look at the canine psyche. If I may read a passage. Big dog. Little dog. A red dog on a... Well, anyway, I don't want to give away the
Why?
ending, but I will say that
You're
it's
doing pretty good.
an incredible twist turn that parallels my own life.
Scary.
I'll give you an A.
Hooray!
Getting tussies.
Swing that, up and down I go.
Dude, I think Officer Barbrady enjoys being at school a little too much. Yeah, isn't he just supposed to be learning how to read?
Swing that, up
I guess this is the
and
musical
down I
number.
go.
Officer Barbrady, what are you doing?
Oh my god, they killed... Oh, never mind.
Well, how's the reading coming along?
Oh, pretty good.
The chicken f***er struck again last night.
Oh no!
Oh, Mayor, please, when we're around children, we prefer to call him the chicken lover.
This time he made love to Carla Weathers' prize chicken. She's catatonic.
Oh,
So much
Carla
funnier.
Weathers or the chicken?
The perpetrator left this clue at the crime scene.
Oh, I can't read this. It has silent E's.
You have to learn to read faster, Barbrady.
I'm doing the best I can. I even got an A on my book report.
Listen, buddy, either you learn to read quick or else I'm gonna find a law officer to replace you forever.
I honestly really like this dynamic. Why?
Hey, what'd you do that for? Just dramatic effect, sorry.
I'm allowed to deputize citizens in a time of crisis.
How did you learn
I wanna
that?
be a cop.
You boys will be my deputies. You can help me restore order, catch the chicken lover, and swing me on the swing set.
Do I get a nightstick?
Sure, nightsticks for
Oh
everybody.
no.
You keep a tab on crime in the city, and we'll try to solve the chicken lover case.
If you want to know where I'll strike next, read Bumbly Wumbly and the Spotted Spacecraft.
To the McTastic bus, deputies, we haven't a moment
Is this
to
all
spare.
an ARG to get him to learn how to read?
Good day, friends. Welcome to the magical
This man
world
looks like
of
he would do a
reading.
We
chicken.
need a copy of Bumbly Wumbly.
What's it say?
It says,
You opened it in the
what's
middle.
this word?
I.
Oh yeah.
Here, give me that. I am Bumbly Wumbly. I live in the pond. A pond. Hey, maybe that means Stark's Pond.
Get a lot of interesting camera angles now. And they
Yeah.
also couldn't do that shot before. They used live action footage for that.
Oh yeah, you're right. I'm not sure how they couldn't. This isn't very great.
Yes, officer?
Clocked you 40 miles an hour back there. Do you know what the speed limit is, y'all?
Well, according to that sign right there, it's 40 miles an hour.
Step out of the car, please, sir.
Wait a second. Aren't you Stan's little friend?
Sir, step out of the car, please.
Yeah, you're the one who always plugs up the toilet at our house.
I'm a cop, and you will respect my authority.
Oh, I've heard
Yeah,
that.
right. You better get back to school, little boy.
Ow! Get your ass to jail!
Ow! Hey, what the hell are you doing? You can't do that! Ow! 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 have sex with a chicken? I would.
Oh, you couldn't screw anything, Happy. You don't have any legs.
Oh, yeah. Have some respect for people's feelings, would you, Happy?
Come on, dudes. We need to look for another clue.
Here, I found one. What's it say? It says, read Teetle the timid the taxi. What's this word? I don't know.
Taxidermist.
I don't know how this is working.
I don't
I
know.
read it all by
No one
myself.
told him how words work. Why?
Yeah, I've been working this beat for about 3 days now. You definitely have to have pretty thick skin. Sometimes you have to go undercover to get the worst of them.
Okay, I guess the rides are over.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Carter fixed it.
Hi there, little lady.
Well, hi there. What are you doing tonight?
Still the police uniform.
Is $20 enough?
Step out of the car, please.
What? Uh-oh, is this a bust?
Sir, it's your red car.
You're just a kid.
Maybe next time you listen to authority.
Ow! Oh! Ow! Ow! Hey, man, what are you doing? Ow! Stop it!
I would love it if that was actually airing on cops.
Yeah, this is honestly a really good episode of Cops.
One day at a time.
Cartman!
They just changed the name, I guess.
Shh, come on.
Conjugate the verb. Conjugate
When
the
the
verb.
hell did he say that?
Yes, conjugate the verb.
Petting. Petting zoo. He loves to go to the petting zoo. Boys, we're off.
Also, he wasn't writing it. He didn't need to conjugate it. Oh, is this Kenny's house?
Sir,
Oh,
could
yeah.
you step out of the car, please? Who's in here with you?
Just me and my wife and my brother, and my wife's cousin and his son, and my brother's girlfriend, and our 2 kids, and my brother's girlfriend's mother, and this guy Bob, who I met last year.
Poor people tend to live in clusters. Sir, is this in
How did he get this
I
angle?
want him out of my house. He ain't worth the shit. He can't even hold a f***ing job.
Shut up, bitch!
Okay, let's try to watch the language. There's children present, huh?
You lazy ass motherfucker.
Look what you did to my f***ing eye!
I'll do it again.
Mom hit Dad again.
Respect my authority!
All units, we have a 520 on the suspect. Report to the South Park Petting Zoo immediately.
Chicken lover.
Who's trying to fuck this chicken in
Keep
broad
your eyes
daylight?
peeled.
It's happening.
Look! He's here!
Grab him.
Oh my god! They've killed... God damn it!
I knew it was you all along, Richard Nixon.
I think that's a mask, dude.
Oh,
Whoa, dude! It's the bookmobile driver.
caught you red-handed.
I knew I had to motivate him somehow, so I formulated a plan to encourage him to learn the magic of reading.
So you f***ed a bunch of chickens?
Yes, yes, exactly. Don't you see? Only by f***ing chickens could I get Officer Marbury to become literate.
He's not wrong.
Well, I guess I should say thanks.
You're welcome. And now, my reading friend, you've proven that you are ready for the big time. I give you this hardback copy
Oh, no.
and this shrug.
Oh no. He's gonna hate reading.
Ah, that hurts.
Whoa, dude! Cartman!
No, that's not how you uphold the law.
But he is not listening to my authority!
Oh, you've got it all wrong, my little friend. You do it like this. You gotta get them in the head. They go down quicker.
Ah, I guess you should leave police work to the professionals, huh, Cartman?
Now I'm back on the job.
Oh no. Oh no.
Curl up with a good book.
Oh no. Oh no.
Still got that was the end.
Thank you, everybody.
Jesus.
Thank you.
Speech!
What?
They want you to give a speech, Officer Barbrady.
I'd like to thank the town of South Park, the town that born me, and eventually will rob me of my life precious. Second, I'd like to say to all those out there who think they can screw chickens just to teach people to read, your days are numbered. And finally, I'd like to say that reading totally sucks ass.
Hooray!
But then I read this, Atlas Shrugged by Ayn Rand. I read every last word of this garbage, and because of this piece of shit, I'm never reading again.
I can't believe you read it all. It's so long.
Wow, I guess reading really does suck ass. Hey, that's what I've been saying all along, you guys. I'm just glad everything turned out okay, and Barbrady got his job back. It's poetic justice.
Thanks, boys.
Oh no.
Did they freeze frame? No.
Yeah. I don't know why they did this joke twice.
I can't tell if it's actually gonna be over or not. Oh, Lord. It's a good episode,
God.
though.
Yeah.
Oh, what would you
Okay,
rate the
there we are.
episode?
Oh boy. I'll give it a solid 7.
I was also gonna say 7. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
agree. Yeah, I like getting a focus episode on Barbrady.
Yeah.
It's very funny.
It was very nice that, like, we now have confirmed that, yes, he is doing a good job. Or not a good job. He's doing a job in South Park. Without
Yeah.
him, the city does fall into anarchy.
It's not really that he's doing a good job, and it feels more like they just need any semblance of authority. Because as soon as Cartman put them on the authority, like,
Yeah.
uniform, everybody immediately fell back in line. Seemingly, you know, it's not like they show that or anything, but all the riots stopped right after that.
Yeah. But, like, also, Barbrady does know, like, the code. Which I assume was probably, like, his father verbally telling
Yeah.
it to him.
Yeah. That's just his bedtime stories.
Oh, no.
I do love that just, like, little touch in the background where you can see his whole family lined up with his
Yeah.
horse, which is like, yeah, that's definitely how he got in here. But yeah, the whole thing of reading and like forcing people to read in school, and then that makes them end up not liking reading and
Right.
stuff.
By the way, I've seen that trope before of, like, the bus that comes to your school and gives you free books. Was that a thing in any of your schools?
I don't know if it was specifically a bus, but like I thought that was like the Scholastic Book Fair is what that was.
Okay.
Like, did you guys have Scholastic
Yeah,
Book
we
Fair?
had Scholastic Book Fair.
Yeah. I don't think there was ever like a reading bus type thing. I have heard about that too, but I never had a reading bus.
Yeah. I've seen the reading bus thing specifically, and it's on or off in fiction whether you pay for the books or whether you just get books. So,
I mean, maybe it's for like poor countries and it's like a charity
Maybe.
thing where they just give out free books.
I could see
or
that.
something. Because the Scholastic one was like you had to pay for all of them.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I thought that was I never like considered that. Yeah. I forgot about the whole bus aspect of it.
Yeah.
That is a lot weirder. Just have an entire bus show up and just hand out free books. I mean, if you're paying for them is I guess the weirder aspect. Like a
Right.
bus. I don't know. Anyway, what's your favorite joke from this episode?
Favorite joke is probably, I mean, there's a lot of Officer Barbrady trying to spell things.
Yeah.
Actually, I think it's just him swinging on the swing set and singing. I don't remember the song at all, but just the visual and the fact that it's like 3 frames of him swinging.
Yeah. Man, I don't know what my favorite joke would be. I think it might be the mayor's assistant just like popping the balloon and then pointing like, why did you do that?
So pointless.
Like, she's not supposed to be evil.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess she was in this episode. But yeah, what else was this episode? Not really a whole lot of themes brought up. I mean, I guess just cops in general and everything.
Heavy cop focus, heavy shooting people in the head focus.
I mean, shooting people. That beginning, he just tries to kill everybody.
He's so straightforward about it too.
Yeah. No qualms. Doesn't care at all.
I mean, there's a little of Cops, the TV show itself, but not a whole lot of criticism about it. Just mostly just, you know, it exists.
Yeah, the cop joke. Yeah, I guess
Like, the show didn't really
this is
change
just a fun
anything.
episode. Like, this is actually a lot closer to just a normal episode of a cartoon.
Yeah. Like, it was just using the read thing as a joke. I guess just a joke about other shows that do the reading episode.
Yeah. But, yeah, I mean, like, did you ever feel, like, forced to read in school? Like...
Honestly, no. I love reading.
Yeah, I mean, like, I liked reading, but I always read farther ahead and everything like that, and I read plenty. Like, I didn't want to read a book that I didn't want to read.
Okay.
Like, that's what I hated. You know, I would read the books that I wanted to read, and the books that I didn't want to read, I just wouldn't read and get a bad grade on or try and fake it. But, yeah, I used to read a lot more until high school, because we had to do a lot more, like, read this whole book and talk about this whole book thing. And I was reading books that I was not interested in at all, and so I just kind of stopped reading after that point.
Okay.
I mean, I read sometimes, but, like, you know, I stopped, like, reading as much as I did around high school. But yeah, I mean, I never see you read ever. So, like,
I would say I dropped off in college. Like, in high school, I was still a pretty strong reader.
Okay.
It was in college. Like, I also just had a ton of free time in high school most of the time. So I had more time to, like, laze around and, like, read books.
Yeah.
In college is when I started to, like, have my entire life consumed with doing other stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I have plenty of free time now and I still don't read, so...
But I do want to get back into it. And I have heard, like, I listen to a lot of podcasts where people say, I wish I read more. So I guess it must just sort of be a thing happening now with the advent of, you know, screens everywhere.
I mean, maybe. I think that's just been a thing throughout the history, you know? I mean, not throughout all of history, but, like, I think it's been a thing for a long time, since at least the 80s or so of, you know... I think it has, I mean, at least in America, I think it has been a general consensus of kids don't like reading because they've been forced to read.
Okay.
Like, that's what, at least, the majority of my peers were.
Okay. Because, like, in my school, the general consensus was more just, like, I read a lot, but I don't read books. Like, most of my peers read a lot online. Or, like, that was the advent of, you know, like, sites that you could go on and, like, you know, read articles and stuff, like Cracked and whatnot.
Yeah.
I knew a lot of people who would read, like, you know, 10K, you know, 50K words per day, but it just wouldn't be in physical books. And then because they read so much online, they didn't want to also read something else.
Okay. I would say that most people meant, like, they just didn't read anything at all. Like, they were very proud of the fact that they didn't read more than 100 words that day, including, like, you know, look at the milk cart that says milk, that counts as a word.
Okay, that's super different then.
Yeah, I think around my culture in, like, high school, a little bit post-high school, there was a big trend of being proud of not reading.
Okay.
And I think it was, you know, because of the bad boy in school aesthetic. There in America there is I really think it's the exact opposite now, but there used to be a sort of, like, culture around stupidity, of, like, it was cool to be dumb.
I've heard people talk about that, but I don't know much about it.
Yeah, I mean, it died off pretty quickly, but, like, yeah, there was, like, you know, a culture around that. Around it's cool to not know stuff.
Okay.
I mean, I think it more stems off of it's cool to not care about anything, which then, you know, relates to anything, which is also learning.
Right.
I wouldn't say specifically it's cool not to learn.
I guess, yeah. Because when you said it's cool to not know stuff, I imagined a thing where, like, you just ask your friends, like, hey, what's the weather outside? And they say, I don't know, I don't care. And everyone high fives.
I mean, yeah, that is more like what it is like. Not like I don't know, but I don't care.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
But the truth is I don't know. But what they say is I don't care.
I see.
Only note I have for this episode is that they wanted to give Cartman a gun instead of a nightstick.
Okay.
But Comedy Central wouldn't allow them to show a kid with a gun. Which, if you remember, in Season 1, we did have the volcano episode where all of them held guns, and that was the entire focus of the episode.
I mean, I do think that comes down to the culture around hunting, though.
Yeah.
Like, hunting is a thing where you give a kid a gun and it's okay because they're under adult supervision and you're killing animals.
Yeah. Context definitely matters for a lot of this stuff, and I really think it shows, though, how, like, on the edge South Park was. That,
Right.
like, there keeps coming up so much contradictory stuff, because they're like, okay, we'll allow that, but no, that's a little bit too far.
Right.
You know? Like, and it's so similar.
That said, I do think the visual of him with the nightstick hitting people in the legs was very funny.
Yeah.
And specifically the part where, like, we then jumped from that was being the status quo, and then we jumped to him being able to jump up Kenny's mom and dad and hit him in the head repeatedly.
Yeah. And we had the, you know, casual super strength of everybody in season 1, and now we have like casual super jumping.
It also creates a much harder contrast with our Officer Barbrady, who just immediately shoots the reading guy in the head.
Also, like, you have to imagine that they do have the strength to jump that high, considering they don't walk anywhere. They do jump everywhere.
True.
Yeah, I guess that's it. I don't have anything else to say about this episode.
Yeah, I'm pretty much done.
Alright.
Get out.
Alright, see you guys for the next one. Till then, get the fuck out of here.
I see you're not really doing the million plugs anymore.
The million plugs?
You know, where you sit down and you're like, hey, check out my SoundCloud. Check out my Patreon. Here's both of our channels.
When have I ever done the million plugs?